Nah, I ain't say that. Because you know that's not going to happen.
No, maybe it can.
Everybody.
Under the bridge, but what you feel about this matchup? Unbiasedly, what you feel about this matchup? You know these dudes very well.
Shakur had talked about this before it was actually official, and I'm like, Core, you know this fight, right? Core like, nah, bro, I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, we all excited about the fight, bro. Like, we all know what's at stake. Like, we've been knowing Teofimo since we was 12 or 13 years old and amateurs, bro. Like, we all been winning nationals together. Now we're pro having to fight each other, so Teo know who he fighting.
Yeah.
Things escalated when Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez exchanged heated words. There was nothing playful about it.
It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all love, right? It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all leave, right? All right, that's it.
It's just a young kid trying to get clout. You know, hasn't made anything, hasn't made no noise, could say what he wants to say. However, hasn't done the recognition, hasn't won a world title. So who is Keyshawn Davis? These guys want clout. Do you guys not understand this? The moment they all get into the moment, right? The momentum. They feel the IQ. They feel the punches. They say, oh, this is real life.
Keyshawn held nothing back. He directly warned Teofimo that Shakur Stevenson wouldn't just outbox him. He believed Shakur would knock him out if Teofimo grew reckless.
Off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
You could feel the confidence behind it. Not fan talk, but fighter talk. The kind that comes from being in the gym and understanding true levels. Moments like that pour more fuel on a fight already at a boil.
I think he's a guy who went out there and he done the things that everybody asked him to do. He beat the Lomachenko, he beat the Josh Taylor, and he ain't really get the credit for it. So when you don't get the credit for it, it feel like your mental kind of go down with some guys. And I think with him, he kind of didn't go about it the right way. He ain't go about it in a way to where it's like, keep waiting your moment, keep pushing, your time is gonna come. He felt like his time came and nobody respected it. So I did see the drift in his mental, but I think that's a weakness in his game, to be honest. Come fight night, we coming in there to make sure we come out victorious. So Teo is a hell of a fighter, I understand that, but I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best. So he got a lot to deal with come January 31st.
Strip away the press conference noise, and the psychology becomes far more interesting than the volume. Those weren't just insults, they were probes. Teofimo Lopez wasn't trying to win the moment. He was trying to disrupt Shakur Stevenson's operating system. That's the real play.
I think that Teo just painted outline by being as disrespectful as he can at the press conference because he wants to try to piss this kid off so the kid come fight with him. You understand me? Because with me, he had exactly what he wanted. Because as soon as I go in there, I'm coming straight to his head. You understand where I come from? So, but I think that's what he's trying to get. Yeah, you feel me? But I think that's what he's trying to get Shakur to do. Because why would you say that to a person? What does that have to do with boxing? You feel me? He knows that Shakur has great feet, and he's not gonna be able to catch Shakur if he lets Shakur take his time to do what he does. So he got to try to make Shakur come in and try to kill him, which is what he just did.
Shakur is most dangerous when he's calm, detached, and processing in real time. He doesn't fight from emotion, he fights from data. He reads shoulders, feet, breathing patterns, and builds the fight like a live algorithm, adjusting without needing momentum or adrenaline. Teofimo, meanwhile, is explosive and creative, but his brilliance comes in bursts that still rely on structure. When chaos hits, he looks for an outline to reset. That's why the disrespect mattered.
I don't feel bad about what he did at the press conference. I understand it now. When I saw it, he knows that he is right now. He ain't got much chance than outside picking a shot with Shakur because you don't beat Shakur like that. But if he can make Shakur get reckless and talk reckless to him, he's talking reckless to him to force him to hopefully force him to be reckless. You understand me? So what I would have did, like I said, I would have been reckless at the press conference, so I ain't got to be reckless in the ring. You understand me? I really ain't got that recklessness out the way. You feel me? Just so you know, I know where to be reckless at. Wherever you be reckless at is where I'm gonna be reckless at. You understand me? So, and we got that out the way. So when the fight comes, I can get back to my fight game. You understand me? But he's just trying to do things to draw Shakur to him, to make Shakur be reckless. Because if Shakur fights reckless, that gives him his best chance to win. And that's.
It wasn't personal ego. It was an attempt to force Shakur out of cold, surgical mode and into reactivity. High-level mind games, no question. But here's the catch. Shakur doesn't need to win podium exchanges. He just needs to stay himself. If he bites emotionally, Teofimo's athleticism and power become real problems. If he stays patient, the bait loses value, and the chaos Teofimo thrives on starts working against him. This is about mental discipline under pressure. One fighter is pulling the fight toward emotion. The other is keeping it in calculation.
How do you fight a good boxer or somebody that makes you not only think, but make you possibly come for them at certain points in the fight?
Honestly, it's a game of patience. I think that you just gotta have patience, and sometimes things don't open up in the first 3 rounds or the first 4 rounds, but them things that may open up in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th round. So I think majority of the game is come down to just having patience and being mentally strong enough to withstand the patience game, because good boxers is going to be both patient, and the one that's the most patient is the one who's going to be the most successful when you have in the chest.
When the outline disappears and the canvas starts moving, the one who can create without panic usually controls the night. Just when you think the Stevenson-Lopez debate can't go deeper, Timothy Bradley Jr. flips the conversation into high-level boxing philosophy, and this is where it gets fun. Listening to Tim, you realize this isn't hype talk. This is someone who hates wasted movement. The way he frames it, Shakur Stevenson isn't just fighting in rhythm. He is the rhythm, like gravity in the ring. You move, he adjusts. You hesitate, he steals space.
Got the guys timing down, know what's coming next, man. He steps ahead of his competition, man. You know, whereas I see Shakur, man, on the other hand, he is the rhythm. You know, and what I mean by that is like, he like the wave, you know what I'm saying? He'll come forward and he'll push back. He'll come forward and he'll push back. He is the rhythm, you know. And I feel like, you know, him not being the most athletic fighter, his equalizer is controlling distance. That's his equalizer.
Bradley's comparison hits because it's true. Shakur doesn't need to be the fastest or strongest when he's constantly removing your options, like deleting tabs off a browser. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez is chaos with talent, creativity mixed with athletic instinct, a guy who improvises mid-fight like jazz. That's exciting. But against someone as disciplined as Shakur, improvisation can turn into guesswork fast. Bradley doesn't disrespect Teofimo. He credits him for being innovative and dangerous, but then circles back to focus.
Teo, more so, I would say he's fast, you know, explosive, and got that punching power, you know, to hurt you, you know, he can sting you. Whereas Shakur is more so like, I would say quick thinker, very decisive fighter, you know what I mean? With his movements, decisive with, you know, all his movements, everything he does inside the ring, there's always like a purpose to it. You know, he's always in the right position, you know, to avoid a shot or to land a.
Shakur doesn't play to the crowd, drift, or get distracted. He stays locked in like a student who already knows the test answers. When Tim says Shakur takes the air out of the fight, it's not an insult, it's a warning. Once frustration sets in, athleticism works overtime, mistakes creep in, and suddenly you're down rounds without realizing when it happened. Bradley's take isn't flashy, it's surgical. He's saying, if this turns into a thinking contest instead of a track meet, Shakur lives there. See the fight through that lens, and it's hard to unsee.
Or again, he ain't got the athleticism, he ain't got that explosiveness like Teofimo Lopez got, man. He ain't got that, you know. But what the thing is that Shakur, he knows how to follow a plan, man. He does. And I think that's a major difference too in the fight. and he comes in there and he takes away, man, and he takes away whatever you got going on or whatever you think you're trying to do. Nope, he gonna take that.
Right after Timothy Bradley Jr. broke the fight down like someone circling danger with a flashlight, Coach Rob stepped in, and now we're not talking opinions, we're talking bodies and engines. Fans often oversimplify things. They hear 5 pounds and act like it's pocket change. But anyone who's cut weight knows it's the difference between surviving a fight and feeling alive in one. From Rob's angle, Shakur moving up isn't about chasing power, it's about freeing the machine. Less drain, more snap, sharper legs late. That's scary because Shakur already wins with timing and IQ. Give him more strength without sacrificing discipline, and those clean touches feel heavier, even if they're not highlight reel bombs. Rob doesn't disrespect Teofimo, either. He makes clear Teofimo is still the freak athlete, explosive, twitchy, dangerous from weird angles. But then he says the quiet part aloud: athleticism only matters if you're landing. Against someone who controls range like Shakur, wasted explosions turn into cardio attacks fast.
And he definitely has the athleticism edge over Shakur. Now, I think Shakur's defense is high caliber, and his IQ is also high caliber. So it's a really good matchup because it's kind of like Teo brings, he can either, depending how he fights Shakur, he can either make it a tough night or he can make it an easy.
This is where it gets interesting for fans. Rob frames this fight as efficiency versus ignition. Teofimo is fire, quick sparks, sudden bursts, moments that change rounds. Shakur is electricity, steady, controlled, always on. Rob notes Shakur isn't a flashy combination guy. He's surgical. 1, 2, step out, reset, repeat. That style ages beautifully over 12 rounds, especially when you're not starving your body. Meanwhile, Teofimo can make this ugly or electric depending on his choices. He can force chaos or accidentally hand Shakur a clinic by rushing at the wrong times. That's the matchup tension. One thrives when the fight stays calm, the other when it gets uncomfortable. Rob's breakdown quietly reinforces what Bradley hinted at. If this turns into a conditioning and decision-making contest late, that extra strength and freshness might matter more than raw explosiveness. You're not just watching punches, you're watching who managed their body better in camp. Frame it like that, and the fight stops being about who's more athletic and starts being about who's more efficient when it counts.
Same thing goes for Shakur. Shakur can try to stay on the ropes the whole time, or he can utilize his legs and box circles around Teo. We don't know. But definitely with the athleticism edge, I'm going to give it slightly over to Teo. But, you know, not saying that Teo doesn't have a good IQ. I just think Shakur's IQ is very, like, I know people know that he's a smart fighter.
Stack all of this together, and the picture becomes clear. This fight isn't loud versus louder or power versus hype. It's control versus combustion. Shakur Stevenson operates like a comm processor, stacking data, stealing rounds, letting frustration do the damage. Teofimo Lopez brings volatility, athletic brilliance, and the ability to flip a fight in one moment if given the opening. The press conference noise, the mind games, the weight talk, the camps, all funnel back to one question. Who stays disciplined when the plan cracks? If it becomes emotional, reckless, or rushed, that favors Teofimo. If it stays measured, efficient, and calculated, Shakur turns it into his kind of night. That's why everyone from fighters to coaches circles the same theme: patience versus pressure, efficiency versus ignition. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just who executes better when it matters.
I think that when we talk about fighters throughout these eras, he's not really mentioned in these things because of the opposition who he has faced. But he does have some great IQ, and from a coach's standpoint, I get to see how he does certain things, why he does certain things. And I'm like, that's smart, you know, and he capitalizes. He got good range control.
Now, I want to hear from you. How do you see this breaking down when the lights are on and the rounds start slipping away? Does Teofimo force chaos, or does Shakur quietly take control and never let go? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's really debate this one. And yo, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.